Hi, everybody. Give me a second to get myself together. I know it's kind of early and you guys are not used to me coming on so early. Hi, Soup. Hi, Nun. Hi, Foot Bear. Did you guys miss me yesterday? I had so much to do. I feel like you guys left me with 1,001 tasks, so I wanted to make sure I completed those tasks before I went live again. Hi, Nursey. Um, in the topic in the bar or the topic says we'll discuss the autopsy. We're going to discuss Rosemont Police Department, and we should be having a surprise. Well, he's not even a surprise guest. We should be having a guest, which is P-Rico, come on today. I have quite a few questions that I want to ask him. However, I advised him at what time I was going to go live, so I know it is late on his time, so I'm not for sure if he's going to come or not. But we will definitely try to get him on the call before we get off the line tonight. Hi, Blue. Okay, so hi, Robin. I'll give everybody a couple of minutes. If you guys have anything that you want to send to me to review or look at, you can go ahead and email it over. But I don't know if you sent it yet. I'll check. No. From you as of yet. Hi, Long. Hi, Casey. How are you guys? How have you guys been, honey bunnies? Okay, so anyway, so hi, Tanya. There go my moderator in the building. Oh, let me put my email up for you guys for anybody who wants me to review something. We want it to be a topic of discussion. There it goes. Okay, so I have some updated information for you guys. I wanted to go live like 2 hours ago, but I was like, okay, so they know that I usually have this certain time, so I don't want to get off task here. But anyway, so I was able to speak to the coroner. I was also able to speak to internal affairs. So I'll start with the corner part because I know we're probably going to have to end up doubling back. Blue said, sorry, haven't been keeping up, been busy with my granddaughter. Oh, Blue, listen, we got to love the kids. Don't feel bad. I was gone for a whole week. I needed a break. I needed to get my life together. So you guys are all aware that last week we started this movement for Kenneka, where or not even last week, I'm sorry, what's today? We started it this week. So hi, Dakina. So we started it this week, sorry. Basically where we wrote this letter and we wanted the letter to go viral. So we're in about 4 or 5 rooms plus my room. And a lot of people have been sending out this email to the press, to the mayor, to Rosemont Police Department, and we sent one out to BLM, and we sent one out to an organization called Pushback. Who, Nursey? I didn't answer your email? Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to answer it tonight. Tanya, remind me to. Oh, the lady didn't answer your email. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys. So we sent this email out to all these people. We have not received a response back from anybody from the press or the mayor's office, etc. It is It is #1 on Twitter right now. So that's a good thing. So the letter is hitting Twitter right now. So hopefully we'll give it till the end of next week to see if the press or anybody will reach back regarding the letter. Hi, Darla. Welcome to the room. However, I went to a site called COPA, and it is I will tell you exactly what that stands for. It stands for Civilian Office of Police Accountability, COPA. It's out of Illinois. So I put in a request on my Facebook page, in my Facebook group, that all of the people that are in my group that are following me put in a formal complaint to the chief of police. So you guys, I put the complaint in yesterday. So today I get a response back, and he responded back to me. His name is Adam, and he said, our agency received your web complaint regarding the Kenneka Jenkins case in the Rosemont Police Department. COPA is a city of Chicago agency with jurisdiction over the Chicago Police Department and is therefore not in position to answer the questions you submitted or investigate the actions of the Rosemont Police Department. Thank you. I'm sorry, regarding the Kenneka Jenkins case. So, mind you, when I put in the complaint, it lets you know once you click submit, it says that if you're submitting this complaint to Chicago Police Department, because Rosemont doesn't have the same type of system as Chicago. So you can't just go online and submit a complaint to Rosemont. So I went through Chicago. I posted the link for everybody. So once you click submit, it tells you that you have to, it tells you that they will forward your investigation over to the correct department once they get it, if it's not for their particular department, which would be Chicago. So basically, he kind of threw me off with this email, like, we're not investigating, it's not our concern. Sorry about the complaint that you have regarding the Kenneka Jenkins case. We're not answering any questions. So I responded back, and I said, I do understand. However, the site does advise you will send the complaint over to the appropriate department if it cannot be handled by Chicago PD. I see you are not willing to assist getting this complaint to the correct department due to the fact it's a formal complaint regarding a police chief. So can you please advise me of what steps need to be taken to file a complaint? I screenshotted it. I screenshotted both emails and I posted it in the group. And about 5 minutes later, my phone rang. Well, you know, I give my number to you guys, and then I have people in my group who have my telephone number. So a number that popped up, I'm thinking it's one of my moderators from my Facebook group. So I just answered the phone like, hello, but I'm still typing, and, you know, I'm on my computer. And it's like, this is the Rosemont Police Department, something, and I'm like, can I help you? So he is like upset that I put in this complaint. But I'm thinking, like, well, one, how did you get my telephone number? Okay. Two, I am talking to the guy in an email, and he clearly just told me that he couldn't help me. So how did he even get to Rosemont Police Department? I don't understand. But okay, so he kind of threw me off. I couldn't even get myself together quick enough because my mind was trying to put the pieces together. So he starts questioning me about the Kenneka Jenkins case. Why am I complaining? How do I feel I have a complaint against the police chief, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm giving him the answers. So I'm telling him, like, well, the site clearly states that if I put this complaint in, you will get it over to the correct department. So by you pushing this email off, you're basically telling me that you're closing the door on the investigation as well. So he's like, well, that's not what it is. However, we don't handle situations like that. You're probably just going to have to go directly to the internal affairs or go down to Rosemont Police Department. So I said, okay, absolutely no problem. You know, can you go ahead and send me over that information? So he sends me over the internal affairs information. And then as we're on Facebook talking about this and people are reposting it, I then receive another email about an hour and a half later. As you can see, I responded to him at 3:02. He called me I'm going to show you guys how quick it was that he called me, so you can understand what I'm saying. So as it makes sense to me, it'll make sense to you. So here's the screenshot of the first email at 2:51, okay? At 3:02, I responded back to him. By 3:06, Rosemont was on my phone. Okay, they were calling my telephone. You see that? Incoming 306-312-746-3609. Feel free to call the number if you want to fact check me. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, honey, you can. You definitely can stream it on your Periscope. So literally, while I'm clicking post, okay, I'm posting it and people are now sharing it. Instantly, my phone rings with the police on my line questioning me about my investigation that I choose to put in. So I'm not gonna lie, they kind of had me a little nervous. Exactly, Dakina. I almost felt like Michael Larry. Like, yeah, I'm about to step away from this. But then I told myself, and not to mention, let me back up. While we're talking, he brings up the fact and says, "Oh, so you're in Las Vegas, Nevada, isn't that correct?" What? Excuse me? Almost like a, we want to let you know we see you. You see us, we see you. Let me let you know we know where you are type situation. Okay. Trisha said, hi, Trisha. Welcome to the room. Trisha said, Jasmine, you're so awesome and cool, and you're an excellent parent person for this case. Thank you so much. Okay, so he, exactly, Tanya. So it was almost like a, thank you, Shanzi, I hope I said your name right. Thank you, boo, because as soon as I did it, I went to my Facebook group. As soon as they called me and I realized what was going on, I went to my Facebook group and I voice chatted all of my admins and I said, okay, you guys, I'm just telling you right now, it's getting a little funny. If I go disappearing, I'm gonna need to be the next hashtag. Y'all need to make sure y'all fight for me, right? About an hour later, after I express myself, I'm calm. I don't let them know they shook me. I get a response back that says, our office will forward your web complaint to the Rosemont PD. Thank you. But you just told me that you couldn't, that it was out of your hands, correct? But when you realize that you're not dealing with a dummy, okay, and then you realize, okay, wait a minute, and as he's talking, I'm so mad because there was so many calls coming in of things that you guys wanted me to do. I couldn't voice record them. And I'm like, shit, I'm so big on fact checking. And I'm like, oh my God, I was so mad at myself because I wanted you guys to be able to hear everything that was going on. And I'm like, oh my goodness, right? But Blue, they can threaten all they want. At the end of the day, we talked about this a couple of days ago. Listen, they will have scare tactics. They will do whatever they're going to do. They can send Las Vegas police to my door if they want to. I'm legit. I don't have any warrants. Do what it is that you feel that you want to do. But the problem, like we were talking about 2 days ago, is, we can't allow them to scare us. We have to continue to take the necessary steps. We are so far past, yeah, we do it because a lot of times we like to refresh ourselves. And of course, we do it because that's the only thing that really is going to keep the case alive, is to still investigate certain things. But we have to understand that we can't allow them to silence us. So I had to bring that to you guys. I'm telling y'all, if I go disappearing, y'all need to y'all understand why, okay? But I'm not going to let them make me paranoid. So yes, I will stick close to this situation right here and keep you guys updated on what's going on with the police, as far as them contacting me back. I do have a couple of other people who also submitted a formal complaint. So I feel like if we start flooding the lines, hey, L. Turner, if we start flooding the lines, people, they have no choice but to respond with answers. I told you guys the other day, I don't really care about what everybody's theory is on why it happened. Of course, we're going to go through it and we're going to investigate it because, again, there might be something, your eyes might see something that my eyes don't see, and you might be able to persuade me to believe what you believe. Vice versa, I might see something that you don't realize, and I may be able to persuade you to believe what I believe. But regardless to what we believe, at the end of the day, it shall all equal up to us getting justice for Kenneka. The second thing is, like I said, so I have an iPhone, so it's really hard for me to find an app that's going to allow me to record my calls without it charging me some outrageous amount to be able to put the app on my phone. Well, I tried to put the app on my phone. It recorded the call, but I'm gonna have to pay for it. So I'll pay for it, and then I will let you guys listen to it either later on tonight or tomorrow. But I called the coroner's office, and that's a completely different, that's another type of sticky situation. So everybody's question was about the thymus not being detected from the autopsy on page 5. So I was able to call the coroner's office. The guy was actually very nice. I did exclude Kenneka's name. I didn't let them know I was calling regarding Kenneka because everybody was telling me the other night, like, Jasmine, just don't say her name because once you say her name, they're probably not going to want to answer the question. So I didn't say her name. It's very weird because I called 2 different coroners. I called one in Los Angeles, California, and then I called the Chicago coroner again. When I called California coroner, hi, Tony, how are you? I basically told them that I was calling in regarding a family member who had an autopsy done. They did not complete the autopsy, but I had a question regarding something that was showing up on the autopsy. And the guy was very nice. He was like, absolutely, how can we help you? I said, it's showing on the autopsy that the thymus was undetected. And he kind of paused and was like, like he didn't get it. So then he asked me to repeat it again. I repeated it again. And he did something on the computer. I could hear him. And then he was like, well, hold on, let me put you on the phone with a medical examiner. So then he put me on hold, and then he came back on the phone and he tried to research it again. And he was like, that doesn't make sense. And he said, so he was like, so it says it's undetected. And I said, yeah, that's what it says. It says it on the autopsy report that I'm looking at. So then he said, okay, well, hold on again. He put me on hold again. And then the medical examiner wouldn't come to the phone. He got on the phone. The guy that I was originally talking to got back on the phone. And all of a sudden, he shut me down. He was like, I'm sorry, at this time, we're not going to be able to answer any questions regarding another autopsy that we didn't conduct. So you're going to have to call whoever it is. You're going to have to call the medical examiner that completed that particular autopsy. So I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Like, I'm specifically asking you to just tell me, is that normal? Is it normal that the thymus is undetected in a 19-year-old girl? And it's like, as soon as he started looking, and then, he put me on hold, and then he went to get the doctor. He must have asked the doctor the question, and the doctor was probably like, we're not putting ourselves in that SHIT. Don't answer no more questions. Tell her she needs to call whoever it is that did the original autopsy. That says a whole lot, none. So I called Chicago coroner, and I tried to play it off the same way, same exact way that I talked to Los Angeles, and they were just kind of like baffled at the fact that it was on there. It was kind of like, and it says, what page is that on? Page 5. Then it was like kind of silent. Then it was a hold. And then it was, unfortunately, we can't answer those questions at this time. So I don't know what that means, guys. I did take the time to understand what it is. Like I said, it's kind of hard. It's really hard for me to speak on something that I don't know anything about. So I didn't go live yesterday because I really need to take the time to understand exactly what it is. Now, what I learned in the process of trying to understand what it is that it's very possible without your thymus. Thymus, yes. However, if you are born without a thymus, it is 9% chance that you will not live to see the age 5. So if you're born without it, you will not live to see age 5 because you do not have an immune system. Now, if you're born with it and you have one, which is very normal, we should all have one. If we're all past age 5, we have one. However, as you hit puberty, it will begin to shrink. It does not disappear. It does not disintegrate. It shrinks. So a lot of people were saying, oh, well, as you get older and you hit puberty, it turns into fat. No, fat grows around it, but it shrinks. Okay. So, however, it should not be it should not be to the point to where it's undetected in Kenneka because she was only 19 years old. By the time you turn 75, your thymus has shrunk so much that there's a possibility that they may have a problem detecting it, but it's always detectable. So I don't understand their response or why they're not able to answer that question or why they don't want to answer that question. Maybe they put it out there and they didn't realize that people were going to notice that, or they didn't think we were smart enough to want to question why it was undetected. Yes, Nursey, it only shrinks. And if you don't have a thymus, it's a disease called DGS. It's like DeGeorge syndrome. And again, it's almost like those kids that you see living in the bubble. Basically, they have no immune system at all. So I will keep trying to dig. I will keep calling to ask questions. Hopefully, if I keep calling during the time of a different shift, then maybe I can get somebody else be able to answer some of those questions for us. But at this very moment, they are not messing with us in that particular question. Thank you, Trisha. You're the bomb. I know that somebody, I don't know if it was El Turner, it was somebody who wanted to talk about lividity the other night. I did not forget. I know I got off the line and I was not. For those of you guys who are my natural viewers, you know by now when it starts getting hectic in the room and people are just going haywire, it almost like mentally shuts me down. It's like mentally draining on top of all the stuff that I got going on in my own life. And I just end up ending the show when it just gets a little too hectic for me. Okay, Nursey, good deal. Because I was looking and I'm like, okay, people were like, well, it turns into fat. And I'm thinking, okay, it doesn't. I think that they're reading it and they're under the impression that it just disappears. Like it just goes away. It doesn't just go away, it shrinks. But by the time you're 75, yeah, it is your thymus has basically turned into fat, but it's still detected. In a 25-year-old, you would still be able to identify the thymus. So basically, and I won't wear you guys out with this because I know to some people this gets boring after a while, but hold on. I try to post my pictures to the page that I want to show you guys, but I'm not sure if I put it in here. No, I didn't. So give me a second and I'll email it to myself so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. So I have 2 emails that I'm going to check. I just got them from you guys, and I will go through it as soon as I show you guys what I'm talking about so you guys can kind of have a clear understanding of what I'm saying. Okay, here it goes. Okay, so okay, so this is what it looks like, right? It doesn't go away, it just shrinks. So this is your thymus, and it will begin. This is in a 2.5-month-old infant, and then this is in a 5-year-old. This is a 10-year-old, and then this is a 25-year-old. This is P-Rico. Give me just a second, guys. You're so late. You can't be late. You can't be late, P-Rico. My viewers are listening, so be nice. You're late. That's so unprofessional. You're fired. And you're eating candy like it's okay. Okay. Okay, so you're supposed to answer your Google Hangout. I don't know why I look familiar. I don't know you, and I'm not from Chicago. Ain't you? No, I don't think you are. No, I'm not her. I've never talked to you before. Not on live, anyway. Okay, so what, are you going to call in? Yeah, I'm going to come in and send me the invitation on the Hangout. Okay. So, sorry, guys. So, again, does that make sense to you guys? Hey, LTK. Hey, Live. Hi, Rebecca. I cannot stand you guys. We're going to get him always excuses with this guy. Okay, Foot Bear, be nice tonight. Do you hear the words coming out of my mouth? Okay. And Eltart, you guys couldn't hear him because he was on my cell phone. I'm going to bring him on to the Google Hangout so you guys can hear him way better, hopefully. However, really quick, so does that make sense to you guys? So this is a 2.5, 10-year-old, 25-year-old. This is the thymus. So it shrinks. It doesn't disappear. So it shouldn't be undetected until you're almost like you're 75 years old, is from what I was able to research, if that makes any sense to you guys. So I'm getting ready to try to bring P-Rico onto the line. Again, be nice, but you all know we have no filter here. I, again, will be asking him a bunch of questions. I am going to be expressing my opinion to him. There will be no filter here. I'm at this point, I'm really not a big fan of them, but I will give him the chance to defend himself. So let me go ahead and call him. You guys give me just a second to bring him on the line. I've never done this before, so if I don't do it right, do not be mad at me. Okay, if I get kicked out or something, we'll try to figure this thing out. Okay, so I think I did what I'm supposed to do. I've never had to bring anybody on, so I don't know. We'll figure this thing out though. However, so yeah, none. I exactly like. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why they're so sketchy about answering that particular question. It's almost as if it's. I mean, it just almost kind of gave me the impression that it gave me the impression once I spoke to LA County and the way they kind of were like, it was almost like, yeah, I don't know why they would have put that, but they didn't want to go into details about it because, again, at the end of the day, regardless to if you work at the coroner's office in Los Angeles, California, Fresno, Mississippi, or wherever else you work, at the end of the day, you guys are like brothers, so it's like it's like they probably didn't want to say anything and downplay what the next Emmy did. But it sounded like, yeah, that's a mess up, but we really not gonna go there type situation. So I don't really know about that, but again, we will definitely look into it. Um, so live, long, I'm sorry. We're not saying anything about her organs being gone. I think you are getting the wrong impression. Um, it's not anything about it being gone. We are trying to understand what it means for it to be undetected. So out of everything on the autopsy report, that's the only thing that came back that was abnormal. So of course, people are going to have questions based around that particular situation. And if you can't really answer the question, then that is a little concerning. Again, let me just explain to you guys, I do not feel that the thymus is undetected because somebody took it. My question is, if you put that in there if you put that in there because you weren't doing your job correctly, then it makes me question you as an ME. It makes me question the toxicology report. It makes me question your credibility. I'm not saying they went and snatched anything out of this baby's body. I'm not, by no means am I saying that. For everybody who's following me and is listening to me on a basis, I've always been against the snatching the organ thing. That's one reason why I hope that we're able to get Mr. P-Rico on the line, because he is a person, based off of what I listened to, he's on the conspiracy thing of people taking or snatching organs. And I just really have some questions that I want to be able to debunk. But I've never been I think that they took it. I think that it questions credibility. If nobody can answer that question, other coroners don't even understand why it's not there. And we've also reached out to hospitals and they don't know why it says that. Then that questions what else it is that you've put in this autopsy report, basically. So that's just my opinion. At that point, now it's time to question everything pertaining to what she said. Right. I think that you're snapping because you're not really understanding where we're coming from. But again, so yeah, we have already debunked the Cassandra thing. Like we have debunked the Cassandra thing. I personally am so against the organ conspiracy. And we were talking the other night and we had numbers in them in here, and it was like, so basically you're saying that you feel that it was the police, and if it was the police, then it was the coroner involved, and the coroner was involved with the hotel, and all these people went to Teresa for this one baby, and the friends are involved, and that's just too much. That's way too much. So I think that we are all aligned with what we feel happened to Kenneka. um, you know, but And LT, that lividity thing, girl, I'm just going to have to really, really look into that and understand it, because I get what everybody's saying about the lividity part. The only thing I don't understand, I think that the question goes hand in hand with the whole lividity situation, based off of the fact that she had abrasions on her lower legs. You know, the question is, what did the abrasions come from? Was she already dead before they put her in the freezer, and maybe they dragged her by her feet into the freezer, or what? Shanzi said, has Miss Martin's attorney made any announcements concerning the autopsy report? The only thing I've seen the attorney say about the autopsy report was in an article that came out around the time that the autopsy report came out, and they were basically stating that they had issued a motion to suppress the rest of the footage from the hotel, and that their investigators also had completed an autopsy that aligned with the autopsy from Cook County. That's all. That's the last time I've heard her attorney speak. I don't know if she has replaced her attorneys or what. I also reached out to the attorney office as well, and I sent them a letter. Weren't really too gung-ho on speaking on any of it, which I understand, because they're her attorneys and they're supposed to keep that information to themselves. However, she kind of gave us consent to do it per live, because she said, if you have any questions, feel free to contact my attorney. And she was talking to all of us. So I felt like I had the okay to call her attorneys. Sergio said, here in Texas 2 days ago, a girl went missing from her backyard, still not found. How old was the girl, Sergio? Jerry said, Ty Rollin arrested and his father. How true you think that may be, and the female involved in sex trafficking? Jerry, that's absolutely positively not true at all. The only reason I know that is because Ty Rollin was actually one of my #1 suspects, and I contacted the detective myself, and gave them Ty Rollin's full name, and requested that they do their due diligence and look into this individual. And the detectives called me back to confirm that they did reach out to Ty Rollin and they did question him, but there was no arrest made when it came to Ty Rollin. So Ty Rollin has not been arrested on Kenneka Jenkins. Now, if he's arrested for something else, then he could be, because he looks like he not even looks like, I pulled his record, and he is what you call a habitual criminal. For those that don't know, Ty Rollin just got out of jail after serving 6 years in prison. He had just got out of jail in March. So you said that's on Google? Well, I don't know. Then I'm just going to have to call. Hold on really quick.
Let me know I'm talking. Hello.
Rico? Can you hear me?
I can't hear you at the moment right now. You sound so far away.
I think you have bad service.
Wait, how do you put this on speaker? Well,
we can see you and I can hear you.
Yeah, but it sounds like you got a headset. Yo,
I think it's your service.
I could hear you, but you sound like you're on my headphone.
Oh, it's probably because maybe it's put me on speaker.
There we go. I don't know how to use this, but now I just did it. Hello.
So you just kind of barged into the middle of our conversation. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, and yourself?
That's good. I think that my viewers have a lot of questions for you, as well as I have a lot of questions. So I hope you know there's no filter to this conversation.
Trust me, I have no filter either. So I was trying to get to Chosen One too, but I guess he couldn't reach out to me because I just don't like the false stuff that people got to say about me, basically, on terms of the Kenneka Jenkins case and how Chosen One think that I was there. Like,
Well, okay, for the most part, though, can you understand how you guys have made it easy for people to be able to make up stories on you guys?
it's understandable. Social media.
It's not social media, it's you guys.
And why would you say it's that?
Well, because let me not say you guys as if everybody played a part in this. But originally, when you guys came out, everybody supported you. Everybody was kumbaya with the whole team. And just as quick as Teresa came out with what she came out with, it seems like you guys all lost division within yourselves.
Well, I wouldn't say that because nobody ain't never knew who I was until they heard me. I was the loud one out there. I was the one who kept saying, "Wake up, Rosemont." So it's just that I got into the mix of something that people automatically from the back thought he's a freedom fighter, but they never saw me with the freedom fighters, and I never knew
Correct.
that. Was that something you was going to say?
No, I was agreeing with you.
Right, and I didn't join the freedom fighters until after Kenneka Jenkins' funeral, because I did not know that it was people out here in the world that view the same thing that I view, and I believe in that cause of fighting for justice. Now, people got a lot of bad things to say about Jedediah and the rest of them, but they also compare me to them. You cannot compare me to what they already got going on because I'm my own person. I ain't getting paid for nothing.
So,
Period. I was
so
out there because I knew Kenneka and I know Mama Teresa. That's why I was out there.
Okay, so that was actually one of my first questions. The first question is, so when you went out to protest for Kenneka, you only went out there on friend basis. You were going out to support her because you knew her, not because you knew Jedediah and Sheena and them.
I did not know them. I didn't know them none whatsoever. I only knew about the Kenneka Jenkins cases because my friend sent me a link to the girl that I've been hearing that died in the freezer. So when I saw her mom, I was like, is that Teresa? And I was like, which one of her kids supposedly had passed? And when I saw Kenneka, I'm like, that's the little girl that was finna be a freshman. She went to college. I was finna be a senior during the time she was in 8th grade, ready to leave out of 8th grade to be a freshman.
So how did you join with Jedediah and Sheena and them?
I don't think I met Sheena, but if I did, I probably had forgot. I joined Jedediah is after Kenneka Jenkins' funeral, and me and him had a talk, and I told him, like, I didn't know that it was people out here like this. I feel like that I can learn more off y'all, and I would be here to fight for justice if y'all need my voice. And he agreed.
So I have a question. So after the whole situation happened with Lewis coming on to Facebook Live and making the announcement that he personally saw for his own eyes Kenneka being raped and beaten, do you feel that's where the whole shift changed in the Kenneka case, as far as when the division happened between Jedediah, you, Lewis, Anton, Lamont? Is that when the division happened?
Nah, the division happened when Noah Brown lied and accused Jedediah of raping her. That's where the division happened. Noah Brown been in Mama Teresa ear from the get-go, lying to her, saying that she went to school with Kenneka, knowing she ain't never knew Kenneka. She ain't know her, period. She kept lying. From rumor was sent, Noah Brown was sent by Jedediah's cousin to make that false rumor about him to get the protest shut down, how the way it got shut down. Lewis just added more film to the fire by saying that it was a video such like that exists, because all you saw was a blurry. It was blurry. I ain't seen nothing. I saw a lot of movement, but it was blurry, so you can't say that you see her getting raped, choked, and beaten because it was so blurry. And I said that I heard that somebody had the video out, and that's when Monifa jumped on my live, and that's how me and Monifa got into it. And me and Lamont had little words, but still, that's how things went down the hill.
So
you got people that follow certain stories, and they'll listen to these people when they say they saw this and they saw that, but when they release the evidence that we saw that you said that's on that video.
Well, can I just be honest with you? I personally, because I have been following you guys, I'll be honest. I've been following you guys, and I say you guys because when Jedediah became somebody that I was aware of, at this time, you guys were all already a team together. So I refer to you guys as a whole. But when I started following you guys and that whole situation came out, honestly, I feel like I feel like you had so much faith in them that you basically just rocked with what Lewis had said. And I feel that that's where it got sticky, because at that time, you and a couple of other people had got on live and was like, yeah, we saw the video too. It wasn't like we heard about the video. It was we saw the video. But then right after that, Lewis then came back and denied even seeing the video himself. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that, but I wouldn't say that I had like faith in the fact that he actually saw the real video. I told people up on my Facebook Live that I heard that Lewis have saw the video, so now we could get to the bottom of this, so I can let I want to know from around the world what's really going on with this case, so they can have rest, because people have lost sleep over this case, thinking about her just being in that freezer is just scary, and all these videos they showing, it's just even more scarier that we don't really know what happened to her, because we listening to all these different stories of what supposedly had happened to her. Came out and said he saw that video. I was like, man, I'm gonna let my people know so that way we can all see what really happened, because I want to know what happened also. I already got her.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So do you feel that you guys as freedom fighters made the best move when you backed away from the Kenneka Jenkins case just because of what Teresa said?
I didn't back away.
I haven't seen you there.
The reason why you haven't seen me there is because I'm a target. Rosemont Police Department, I am a target to them. And if I be out there with a small, are going to get me. With everything that I said about Rosemont being corrupt, about their organ stuff and all of that, I dug up information on them and leaked that. Of course, I would be a target. You remember that protest? It was 1,800 people to 2,000 people out there. And I was the only one to be arrested because I was sitting there saying a lot of stuff about them, and they were sitting there just smiling in my face when I was telling them, what if it was your daughter? They smiling. One officer called me a nigger, and that's when I snapped.
So I want you to clear your situation as far as what happened that night in your arrest. I do definitely want you to speak on that, because I know that people have a lot of questions surrounding that situation. So the night that you were arrested, what was the reason and what happened? Why did you get arrested?
When I was speaking my mind, and when I was speaking about the case and how Rosemont is corrupt, for everybody to wake up and we're going to continue to fight until we get justice, an officer was looking at me smiling, and I was telling people, look at him, he's smiling. He don't know it could have been his daughter. He don't know it could have been his sister, his grandmother, anyone that he loved. And it's not right for him to laugh about the situation. And he told me to preach on, young nigger. And I told him, excuse me? I say, fuck you. I told him, fuck you. You only feel like you're tough and invincible because you got on that badge. You're nothing.
Correct.
I don't know I don't know why he put words in my mouth saying that I lifted up my shirt and I had a gun. Why is I'm still living? I'm living to talk to you on this interview if I had a gun. But they hit me with an aggravated assault on him, and it took them 30 minutes to come in riot gear to come get me. When they was walking towards me, away from them, and I put on the intercom, they are trying to arrest me again. They're trying to arrest me again so the crowd can see what they was on with me. They rushed through the crowd.
So when you were
grabbed me,
go ahead.
They was hitting me with them, and once they cuffed me and threw me into the van, the cuffs was on me so tight to the point I was gonna faint and collapse, and they didn't care. And when I was in the station, I promise you, I wish I had a wire, something that could have leaked the audio of me being harassed by my arresting officer. He clearly told me, and listen to me, he told me, since you think you know about our organ trafficking, maybe we should take yours, because it say on your ID that you are a donor.
So when you were arrested and you were bailed out, who was it that bailed you out of jail?
I bailed myself out twice, but I was reimbursed twice.
And you were reimbursed by who?
By Jedediah himself.
So that would go to say that when they bailed you out with the Freedom Fund's money.
Pretty much.
Okay. So, because, you know, the whole discrepancy here, and I don't know if you're able to see the chat and you can see what people are putting, but there's a lot of conversation, you know, and people feel like they don't support the freedom fighters because the freedom fighters are using or taking funds or misusing funds inappropriately. But, you know, at that time,
it's for the protesters that get arrested. Out, the Freedom Funds also for food, drinks, and the Freedom Funds is for legal support when the protesters go to court.
So here's my question, and again, I told you no filter, and and again, you can always plead the fifth and not answer a question if you don't want to. But if the Freedom Funds are going towards, you know, people going to jail and being bailed out and, you know, fighting court cases and things like that, my personal opinion is, one, then you shouldn't have a problem, and this isn't necessarily a come for you, but you shouldn't have a problem with being able to get an attorney if they're using those funds the correct way. Then my second thing is, if the funds are being made towards being able to bail you guys out or you know, your cases, why is it that when Lamont went to jail, Jedediah came on live and advised that he was not using any of the Freedom Fund's money to get him out of jail?
I think that's because they wasn't getting as much, I think, because like I said, I came late. I came Monday because I was at an event at the Crowne Plaza Sunday. I was at a little event and I didn't know about it until my friend about what happened to Kenneka Jenkins, and that's when I found out who it was. But it was also the officers who denied me a phone call to call Jedediah to come get me, or however they ran that process of how they was going to bond out the protesters. Because when I was there, they said the protesters that get arrested, and that's what the Freedom Fund was for, to bond out the protesters, to help for legal help, food.
So now I know you like to see proof and you like to see receipts. So a couple of weeks ago, I posted something on my face. Matter of fact, it was the day of the funeral. I posted on my Facebook page that I was actually very upset that you guys had attended the funeral. I felt I was really offended. Now, let me explain why. I was offended because of all the videos that was going on, and it almost seemed as if it was all being done with wanting to be petty towards Teresa Martin. So when I saw you guys arrive at the funeral, it was kind of like a slap in the face. So I posted something on Facebook. Well, somebody took that post and screenshotted it and sent it to Sheena. So Sheena sent it to me. So I responded back and let her know, yes, I'm very offended that the freedom fighters attended the funeral. This is why, due to the fact of everything that they've been saying on Facebook, Lewis made his page private, kicked me out of his page, et cetera, et cetera. The response I got from her is, Jojo, Lewis, and Anton are not freedom fighters and have no association with them. Is that correct?
I didn't hear everything you said because you kind of breaking up, but I did hear you say we are not associated with the freedom fighters. And I told you during that day at the funeral is when I started being associated with them. So it'd make sense for me not to be associated with them at first. Once he interviewed me in the Torah, that's when we went out to eat, that's when I started being associated with them. So at the funeral, I was still the person who people saw saying, wake up, Rosemont, ain't no sleep. Ain't you, Rico? And they thought I was part of it, and I was like, nah, we working something out. I don't know. Because we went out to eat after Kenneka Jenkins' funeral. So Lewis, on his behalf of what's going on with him and the freedom fighters, I have no idea, but people saying that he was the fraud and he was the one that was putting the bad name and reputation on the freedom.
Are you still there? So I believe we lost sound on P-Rico right now. For those of you guys that just came in, we're basically just getting some clarification from everything that people have had to say about him in particular. Just a couple of questions on the situation with the freedom fighters. I do believe that P-Rico's still on the line, so we'll give him some time to come back so we can get the audio. Okay, so the world wants to know, P-Rico, what do you know about the Kenneka Jenkins case?
I know one thing, it got a lot to do with I feel like it got a lot to do with the employees in the hotel as well as the friends. I feel like it was set up. It got a lot to do with money for the cover-up. The cover-up, it got a lot to do with the money. But I feel like that she was dead in that room. And the videos that we see of the security guard pulling that bag, to me, it looked like it was a body in that bag. Because why is it a janitor following him and mopping up the floor? And they did say she had a bruise on her ankle and leg. That explains. And he hit something real hard when the bag was on the cart, and it looked like it was a body in the bag, if you ask me. But it's just a lot of stuff going on that Crowne Plaza covering it up because they don't want to get shut down and go out of business. It was a whole setup. Because if they wasn't calling Kenneka to come to that party, she would have went to the movies with her other friend and still been alive.
Correct. Now, here's my thing, P-Rico. I've been following this case from day one, and the people that are in this room, they're dedicated followers. You know, there are a lot of people out there who believe that this was an organ harvesting situation. My personal opinion, I have to be honest with you, is I feel like, you know, social media ran with the rape and beat and strangled situation because of what Lewis did or what Lewis said. So people then began to run with the fact that Kenneka was raped, beaten, or strangled. You know, I stick tight to my theory, and my theory personally is that, you know, Kenneka was in this room and some things went terribly wrong with some of the guys that were in there. Maybe they were gang related. I don't really know what I feel the motive is. But I do feel that at some, go ahead.
Gang-related activity, because they said there was one man up in there that was old. What is like a 30-some-year-old doing at that party? But they say he like the most feared man in Chicago and stuff like that. So it got a lot to do with the gang issue and stuff like that.
So do you believe that this is an organ harvesting situation?
Possible, because like I said, it was some workers in that room. Can't nobody, how would they know exactly where to go? How would they be smart enough to put the body in a laundry cart? Like, it's a lot of stuff got to pinpoint it out.
But P-Rico, I want you to, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to stop. I need you to erase your brain from everything that you've heard on social media, because a lot of the things that I hear people talk about is the stuff that is going viral on social media, where people have found, they're dissecting videos and they swear that they saw a body in a bag, and the reality is those are things that we have not. It's a hotel. People are working. You're going to see people swinging by with pillows. You're going to see people with trash bags. You're going to see people with carts. These are all normal things that people are going to do while they work.
And that makes it suspect.
Say it again.
Suspicious activities behind that makes it suspect. Why did Monifa?
What's suspicious about a man pushing a cart with a trash bag in a hotel?
Because if you sink the trash bag, it looks like a damn body was in there. And they said that Kenneka had a bruise on her leg and ankle. And if you see that video, you can see that he hit something with the bag.
Okay, and so
plus I had a witness the Kimberly girl. If y'all ever heard of her, Kimberly Willis, she was there. It's a shame that she had to hide her identity to tell her side of the story. And her side of the story was that the person who wasn't fit there, like you see it up on the videos too, like where was a 35-year-old doing in the party?
Well, so how do we know that the 35-year-old was in the party?
Because it was on camera that he was attending it. Like you gotta legitimately look at all these footages of what they show. You gotta open your eyes, man. Everybody gotta open their eyes to see the truth. This is deeper and darker than what we think. It got a lot to do with the employees, it just as well as it got a lot to do with the people who was in that party.
So when you clicked into the show, you actually missed you only missed like 10 minutes. However, just so I can kind of give you a background on what I've been doing with the Kenneka case, I'm a firm believer that in order for us to fight for justice, we have to be able to take the necessary steps. Plus, I have a nonprofit organization that assists with doing things like this. So a lot of the avenues that I take, I just know by way of having a nonprofit organization. So as I was telling my followers today in the room, I did reach out to Rosemont Police Department. I actually put in a formal complaint for the police chief. I received a call from Chicago Police Department basically letting me know that they weren't going to handle the situation. They weren't going to pick the investigation up. After proving them incorrectly, they then emailed me an hour later and advised me that they would send that information over to the necessary people as far as the internal affairs goes. My personal opinion is, this is just my opinion, I do not feel like anybody in that hotel, I don't feel like the hotel per se. When people say the hotel, to me, they're speaking of the hotel and the whole hotel knew that somebody was going to kill Kenneka that night. I do not feel like the hotel had anything to do with it. I don't feel like the coroner has anything to do with it. I feel like where the cover-up came from Rosemont Police Department was when they did not follow protocol when they came out to the crime scene. They automatically labeled her crime scene as an accident, not a criminal investigation.
They did not Come on, what type of crime scene was that? That they just went up in there and just took her body out the freezer and defrosted her body. But where was the yellow tape? Wasn't they supposed to investigate? Nobody ain't supposed to go up over there, go down there, none of that. It's a lot of suspicious activities going on in Rosemont, period. It's a corrupt place to be. Look at all the money that it generates. Look at all the stuff that's around there. You got the Rosemont Theater. You got the Rosemont Mall. You got Rivers Casino, like right not far from there. You got O'Hare Airport. Crowne Plaza owner knows Donald Trump, so it's a money situation. You got to understand that money buys you out of everything. And if a person talking about a price, is most likely is going to be covered up. Because if Crowne Plaza would have just released the real tapes, the FBI agent dude, whoever he is, said that he saw her walk directly in that freezer. Where is the footage of her walking in that freezer? That's what everybody want to see. Everybody want to see that. Everybody. This whole case would be done if we see her walking in that freezer on her own. And then, why, like I said, why wasn't it not yellow tape if it was a crime scene? Why wasn't it not yellow tape down there?
Well, again, like I said, so I did my research, and basically the reason that the crime scene was not, the reason that it was not conducted in a crime scene manner is because what happened was the police arrived, well, the worker found Kenneka and notified the police. The police were then supposed to cut off the area. The moment they allowed Teresa to walk down into that freezer area, the crime scene was contaminated. So if you look at the videos, they never had gloves on. They never taped off the scene. They never did anything that they were supposed to do to properly be able to conduct investigation. So if Rosemont Police Department is involved in this situation, it's because they didn't realize the world was going to be watching them to be able to call them on their bullshit. Excuse my language, guys. You know I hate cussing. But they didn't realize that we would be able to call them out. I don't feel like Rosemont, I feel like people keep saying that the Crowne Plaza Hotel had something to do with it, but at the end of the day, let's just say that this man is a part of the organ, harvesting thing, which we all see that he has been once upon a time, and he wanted to take Kenneka, then we would have a missing persons report. We wouldn't have a dead girl in the freezer at his facility. We would be looking for Kenneka's body right now. We wouldn't have found her body. So I feel that with all of the nonsense that people are saying, this is the distraction right here. Those are the type of the things that are a distraction. That's just my opinion, though. But people want to know. They want to know what happened. People feel and assume that you guys automatically know more than what you're saying because you guys had firsthand with Teresa.
Just because I know Mama Teresa don't mean happened, because if I did know what happened, don't you think I'd be ready to tell the world what happened? I'm very outspoken. If the case that nobody ain't never heard of Rico is very outspoken. Rico been calling out a lot of YouTubers when they think that Rico got something to do with this. Like I said, I had a YouTuber that said that I was there. I'm Irene's cousin. He saw me in the reflection of her glasses. Dreadhead appears. Like, do you know how many guys with dreads in this world? And for you to even say that I was there, what type of nonsense is that? Come reach out to me for an interview. I interviewed with John Frank. John Frank been having a lot of stuff to say about me. I interviewed him. He don't got a lot of stuff to say about me now. Pocket Change, he had a lot of stuff to say about me. Interviewed with him. He don't got a lot of stuff to say now. It's always good to hear two sides of the story. People always think they know Rico. People always think that, oh, Rico this and Rico that. I don't pay attention to them. All I want to know is what happened to that little girl. That's all I want to know. It woke up.
Well, I think that it's safe to say that we can definitely debunk the situation that P-Rico was not at that party and is not involved in this crime.
Exactly.
I think that is very safe to say that I don't think that has ever came across my timeline. But then again, it's just certain nonsense that I don't pay attention to. As for my followers, I would like to say Please, everybody, throw up a 1 if you believe that P-Rico was not a part of this crime. And if you throw up a 2 because you believe that he was a part of this crime, you're crazy. So I don't think that you were a part of it, but I do feel that I can only be honest with you, you know, P-Rico, and I won't keep you on long, but I will say to you that at the end of the day, if this is something that you want to do and it is your passion, I have to be honest with you. It's safe to say that you need to not associate with some of the people that you associate with. I feel my personal opinion is being somebody who does reach out to the community and fight for the community. There's a certain way that people should conduct themselves, and not speaking on you, because I can say that you do make it very clear that you are not an active advocate. This is just something that you stumbled across. But for those people that you surround yourself around that claim to be advocates, they need to watch the way they present themselves to the world. We have never seen Jesse Jackson or anybody else on live putting their business out the way that those particular people put their business out. So my suggestion to you is, if this is something that you want to do, you might just have the tools that you need to be able to be successful in it. But when it comes to certain people, you need to just detach yourself, because those people are playing a part in assassinating your character.
I mean, I'm not that I agree with you, but my whole vibe is this: I am the voice for the voiceless, and what I mean by that is this: for everyone who's out there that is afraid to speak, for everyone who is out there that can't hear because they're so deaf to understand what's really going on in this world, or can't see what's going on in this world, I am here to be y'all voice, to help motivate y'all to come out and fight for what y'all believe in. We are unity. We are brotherhood and sisterhood. And we going to live the justice for all revolution. There's no race issues at all. But
absolutely not.
When you mention people like Jedediah and people like Lamont and the Torah and the rest of them, I read people. And I feel like if I felt anything negative about them, I would never be associating myself with them. Now, a person who I do feel a negative vibe on is Mr. Greg Greer. He's the one that's Mr. Preacher, Mr. Bishop. Got kids probably look up to him. But if you check his YouTube page out, he got porn on it. That is unprofessional. And I told him.
So what is the situation with Greg and you guys?
Well, the situation with me and Greg, I wouldn't say you guys, because I'm Rico. I'm the voice for the voiceless. The issue I got with Greg is this: don't talk about me if you don't know me. And then he loved putting stuff in people's mouth. He lied and said that I told him I was gonna smoke him, when I ain't said nothing like that. I clearly said in that video, Greg Greer, stop putting my name in your mouth. You don't want no smoke. Let's talk about this like man. And he made it seem like that I threatened him and that he know people that got guns and all this stuff. I'm not worried about none of that, man. It's just the fact that if you and Jedediah hate each other so much and he got that passion to hate Jedediah, why you just can't shake that man's hand and still fight for the same thing that we all supposed to be fighting for, and that's justice? See, the government looking at us and they want us to go against each other. If this world was perfect, if this world was pure, it'd be overpopulated.
Well, that's very true, because if you look at the situation surrounding the Kenneka Jenkins case, you know, at one point we were all together in unity, and the moment this went bad, it brought division.
Yes, because of Noah Brown lied on Jedediah, allegedly said that he raped her, and Mr. Greg wanted the FBI to investigate in that alleged rape when all you got to do is put her on the lie detector test. That's all you got to do. She even tried to make me walk her home, and I told her I'm good. I'm not, my stop the next stop, and I kept going on about my life. She was the reason why the protest got so dysfunctioned. And Mr. Greg is the Judas of them all. He the one who y'all should be looking at instead of continuing to pay attention to Jedediah and the rest of the freedom fighters. Everybody got a background. Everybody got one. Ain't nobody in this world perfect. We all got backgrounds. We all got baby devils that live inside of us, and that's anger. We all get angry. We all black out and lash out. Ain't no one in this world is perfect. No one.
So I have a viewer in the room who said it sounds very intelligent. He said, give me just a second, let me find it. You got people in here going crazy. He said, how are we to make sure our people never suffer again in this manner? Because I have kids.
How would they not suffer in this manner? And like I said, I'm a father also. And it's scary to me, and it sends chills through my body to hear a story like this. This is y'all don't understand. The government is hard to fight against because it's a lot of people that's scared to stand up against them. The ones who did stand up against them, look what happened. They no longer exist in this world. And people don't want to carry that load on their back to help the world come together again to fight for justice. I'm one of the people who's willing to do that. I know what I'm sacrificing. I know I'm sacrificing my life. I know I'm sacrificing everything to get justice. What we can do to prevent this situation is to avoid hotels. Everybody,
P-Rico, you can't say that.
Shit. Boy, hotels like Crowne Plaza. They got bodies in the freezer and blood on their hands. Wake up, Rosemont.
So another one of my viewers said, I'm going to read you a couple of the questions if I see that they make sense. Yolanda Curtis said, I feel like Rico's feelings are going to be real hurt. They don't F with him like that. When he pulled them on the live, they distanced themselves. How do you feel about that?
I mean, of course they'll distance themselves from the person who they don't know like that. They've been in this together for a long time, and I just came into the scene. So, of course, they may not know my motive. Of course, they may be testing me, but I'm just a loudmouth young man that wants justice for everyone who is dealing with a problem that they ain't get justice for. So
is it safe to say that the way that you have, it almost sounds like the safe thing to say is that you have basically almost separated yourself from the freedom fighters by calling yourself the voice for the voiceless.
I didn't separate myself from the freedom fighters when I called myself the voice for the voiceless. I'm the voice for the voiceless for everyone. It's people that's outside of Chicago. If they need me, they send for me. I most definitely will go out there if they want Rico out there. That's the thing. If you don't want Rico out there, Rico don't come. But if you do want Rico out there, Rico shall come. I just don't want to cause no problem. And when I did go out there, the last time I went out there to Rosemont before I got sick and I was recovering from my cold, Mama Teresa, somebody put words in my mouth that I talked bad upon my, and it almost made me cry because this woman has been there for me. Every time she threw events in Douglas Park, I was there for them events. So for a person to put something in my mouth and said I ever talked about that woman is foul and it's wrong because I always defended her. And it hurt me. It hurt me. It hurt me real bad. That
so are you safe?
Sacrificing freedom, blood, sweat, and tears, fighting for the justice of her child for a person to get in her head, and they're wrong. That's what I mean by the first time she called off the protest. That's how it got so dysfunction, because people got in her head because she is wounded, and they are wrong for getting in her head. I'm not, stop. I want y'all to stop comparing me to the freedom fighters, because at the end of the day, before we are freedom fighters, we are human.
That's very true.
You see what I'm saying? So if you're going to talk about me, talk about what you know about me, what you know about Rico. Do not pit Rico in the category just because he's a freedom fighter, he's this and that. You doing what the officers do. They portray, because I got these dreads, they want to mess with me because I got this hairstyle. The reason why I got these dreads is because this is Jesus' hair. This is my power. Jesus' skin was made of bronze and his hair was made of wool. For the people who is spiritual and believe that I don't read the Bible that much because it's been rewrote so many times, but I do know this. God is an entity. He is not a person. He will pop up in everywhere. Anywhere. You don't know who he'll get inside of to spread his message to see who's listening. God is an entity. He sent his son to this planet to finish the work that should have been done. But what happened? Judas.
I agree.
See what I'm saying? And that's why humanity cannot trust each other. We all are a species from planet Earth. If you have a surgery, your body gonna heal.
I have to say, I have to tell you that, not a religious person. I'm very spiritual. I feel like with the Kenneka Jenkins case, you guys did not choose the Kenneka Jenkins case. The Kenneka Jenkins case chose you. And I feel like the reason that you guys have so much turmoil right now, and there's so many different people attacking you and attaching to you in a negative way, is because regardless to what Teresa said, you didn't have to stop the fight. And when I say you, I know you per se have not, but I'm speaking as you, as in you guys in a whole, as a team, should have never walked away from the Kenneka Jenkins case, regardless to what my mother said. So because you walked away from a mission that was assigned for you, you're going to have a problem getting back on track.
Oh, trust me. I never walked away from that mission. It's just the fact where when you get threatened by the officer and they say they're going to put a bullet in your head and stuff like that, I'd rather for it to be a lot of people out there or they're going to target me. You got to understand this. In this world, officers can get away with so much, but if there's not enough people out there to witness this, all I'm going to be is a test dummy. If I go out there to Rosemont right now, and when I mean right now, I mean tomorrow, if they out there protesting, because I'm feeling better. And I text Mama Teresa and told her, is the protest still going on? Because I'm feeling better. Obviously it is, because a 13-year-old girl got arrested. Well, I ain't going to say a girl. It was a 13-year-old that they said, period. It was a 13-year-old. But like I was saying, if I go there, you know what they're going to do? There go Alvarez. There he go. Don't he know he got to go to court soon? Let's put some more charges on him. What I'm saying is I'm at least trying to get rid of these court days so I can return fresh, return new. Because all that was going to happen was court case on court case on court case on court case. I already got a background.
So my question is for the freedom fighters, my question would be, I see that, people are donating money and this money is supposed to go for the cause. This is supposed to be able to get people on planes, trains, buses, food and board and whatever else the case may be. But my question for the freedom fighters is, when you pick up an agenda, or you pick up a cause and you go to fight the cause, what is the outcome? What is the focus? Because right now, I think for the world doesn't see what the plan is behind the reason. Like, you're going to fight, you go to protest, and then what? Is that all you guys do, is protest and then leave?
I mean, me, everybody who experienced the protest, who was protesting for Kenneka, they lost sleep. And me, I try my best to make them laugh and feel better about the situation so they could get stronger to fight again the next day. Personally, on a personal note, we, like I said, we all human. We got responsibilities. We got to take care of people work. See what I'm saying? And when you sacrifice the things that I sacrifice, because I'm not on a race schedule like that no more, because I sacrificed to go out there to continue to fight for what was right.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? And it takes a lot of passion to do something like that. But since I knew it was Mama Teresa, of course I'm going to do it for her, because like I said, I know Mama Teresa. And if it was for anyone else, I'm not just making it seem like I just do it for Mama Teresa. I would do it for anyone else, because this is what I'm passionate about. I'm not doing this for no followers. I'm not doing this to become a leader. I'm not doing this for none of that. I'm doing this because I believe in that blessing. And if I was sent to this world to do just this, that was my blessing, to be who I am. I was born with a talent. And if my talent fighting for justice, I will most definitely continue to fight for justice until we get justice, until they see that I'm not going to give up, until they permanently shut me up.
Well, P-Rico, I think that that's probably why so many people, because again, I don't know if you can see the chat on your end. I've never done this before. You're my first guest. Thank you for coming. Okay, so a lot of people are saying this is why you should stand alone, because at the end of the day, it seems as if at this point, the only person who has any type of passion behind it, or who is willing to come to the front to explain the steps they're taking, would be you. Because if you look at what the other people are doing who quote unquote are out there fighting for a crime. Example, I listened to somebody tell you today, I don't have to fucking explain shit to these people. Excuse my language, but that was their words. And when people are providing you with their money, you must provide what you are doing with their cash in order to keep it flowing in. So that is where people become frustrated. When you hear these people get online and say they don't have to explain anything to us, they don't have to tell us anything, they don't need to tell us where the money is going, that is absolutely not true. As somebody who runs a 501c3, first of all, at some point, when you start making or bringing in a certain amount of money, whether it be by donation or gift, you have to hold accountability for that money. So people's questions is it just they're calling themselves freedom fighters? Are they really out getting a 501c3, or are they just sitting back collecting money with no agenda? That is the question that the world has, and that is where the frustrations from the world is coming from. Because if people saw them taking the appropriate steps, it would make sense. So because you're saying that this is the type of person that you are and what you want to do and what you stand for, naturally people are they're going to disassociate you. I hope I said that word right. They're going to unassociate you with them, because again, you were the only person that comes to the forefront, and it's been that way from day one. Everybody else have put this Hollywood.
Like I said, I got my own motive. My own motive. And if we all fighting for the same cause, but I got my own motive. I just want everyone to wake up. That's all I want. Instead of bashing each other, talking about each other, sit down, talk to each other. Make this work, because like I said, the government wants us to be divided. Why you think they put guns on the street and drugs on the street? They know that is the source into dividing us, as well as them creating these diseases to see how our immune systems react to it. They want that new world order. And if we don't do something about this, we all are fucked.
That's very true.
It's not my business of what the freedom fighters got going on personally in their life, but how people leak Torah business wasn't right. And I feel
okay,
like
now, but wait a minute. But let me tell you something. Now listen. Okay, now I'm no celebrity, but I'm gonna tell you something. My father played for the Pirates, Mets, Oakland A's, and the Texas Rangers. I have to tread lightly with the things that I do out in this world, because the moment they realize whose daughter I am, I instantly become under the microscope. And what these people need to understand is that, one, you cannot blame the world for the attack that they have caused on Notoria, whatever her name is. She needs to blame her wife. Her wife brought that mess to the front line. People were not attacking her or digging in her trash can until her wife allowed for their personal business to be exposed to the world. Right or wrong, P-Rico?
You're right.
Okay.
The reason why I'm saying it's wrong is because people feed into it.
My room is telling me to go get my mama because she needs to give you a stern talking to. However, so P-Rico, again, I won't keep you long because I don't want to wear you out. I know I've been seeing you do interviews all day long today.
Hold on, what they say they need to get your mama so she can what?
They said he not listening, Jazz. He needs stern talking to from Lady J. Let me go get my mother for you. Hold on.
No. Wait. Trust me, I was listening. People don't understand what I'm saying. Just ask me what do I mean by the words that I say. What I'm saying is this. I'm in it for the justice for all revolution. That's what I'm in it for. Am I a freedom fighter? Of course, I'm a freedom fighter because I'm fighting for the same cause. And if a person fighting for justice, they are freedom fighters because they want freedom within the community and they're going to fight for it to get justice.
So just want to let the room know, for those of you guys that are coming in, we have P-Rico tonight. He is giving his tell all. He is clearing his name. He is allowing the world to see him for who he really is. If you guys throw out some decent enough questions, I definitely will repeat them for you, for him to answer. I'm going to
definitely declare P-Rico name. Don't compare P-Rico to the freedom fighters, and I'm not talking down upon them when I say that, but don't compare us. We all are not, we ain't the same. We got different agendas. We got different motives. We live a different lifestyle. Period.
So for those of you guys coming in and for P-Rico, I would like to introduce you guys to Lady J. This room is called Jasmine and Jordy.
Oh, no, come on.
So I would like to introduce you to my mother since they told me to go get her.
No, don't do this to me. Look, I can't even hear her. But I'm finna tell you this. I catch the CTA to go fight for justice. I am a passionate person to go fight for what's right. I do not want no problems with your mama at the moment because I understand what you're saying. I'm listening. And please tell your chat room to calm down. Like, come on,
Okay, well, let me just say, I have to say this is probably the first chat room where it looks like the masses have adjusted to your side, because it looks like people are really rooting for you right now, P-Rico. I'm looking at it with everything and everybody got going on, but the world wants you to separate yourself because they don't see the same passion in them as they see in you.
Look, world. Look, her chat room of this YouTube page. Look. Y'all feel how the way y'all feel about them. Don't feel like that towards me. I just want to live the justice for all revolution. That's
okay, well,
that's all.
Let me say something. Hey, P-Rico, this is Mama J. I'm Jasmine's mother. Let me just say something real quick. Let me say something real quick, babe. There comes a point in time in life when all individuals have to know when to draw the line, when enough is enough. The only time an individual gets put in a certain category is when we allow ourselves to be put in that category by the people that we choose to associate ourselves with. Nobody's putting you in a bad category. I think what you're doing is wonderful. I believe that your fight is wonderful. But all I'm saying is that a lot of this could have been alleviated on your end if you had took a step back and paid a little closer attention to what was really, really going on. See, you know, everybody yelling out, thank you, Jesus, and hallelujah, and amen, ain't really about that.
I know, trust me.
Okay. Because you know what I'm saying, the devil comes in all type of disguises. He comes in every shape, form, and color. He has a sense of humor just like God does. Everybody
God kicked Satan from heaven and placed him in hell, which is the ground we walk on, and that's hell. The devil know how to work his magic when he make people take each other's lives, and that's what they want. The government is the devil. The government is who we need to stand against. And it's hard to do so when nobody ain't out here woke. You have to be woke. You have to be aware to be alive. You have to look.
Okay, but listen. Okay, but listen. A real warrior, a real soldier never gives up. No matter what nobody says. Everybody started off gun-ho. Justice for Kenneka. Justice for Kenneka. We want justice for Kenneka. Shut Rosemont down. Body, yada, yada, yada. But then the first time somebody says something negative, or the first time Mama Teresa ain't rolling the way everybody wants Mama Teresa to roll, the protest shut down. You can't protest like that and get justice. You can't. Either you gonna stand for something, or you gonna fall for anything. And everybody did exactly what, as you say, the government and the devil wanted y'all to do. Wanted y'all to stop fighting for justice. But that girl, all of a sudden, not saying you, but Jedediah, Sheena, and all of them, the first time somebody said something that they didn't like, because I'm gonna tell you right now, when I ain't wrong and somebody's accusing me of wrong, I'm gonna be the first one to prove your ass wrong when I know I'm doing right. So if they didn't have nothing to hide and they wasn't doing nothing wrong, all they had to do was simply give Mama Teresa or show Mama Teresa what she was asking for. Simple as that. Okay, but you can't all of a sudden, because this protest say everybody ain't on doing what you want them to do at this protest, now you gonna pack a suitcase and your ass is way over in Atlanta fighting this protest, and as soon as they don't like your ass, now you're back. Don't bring your ass to Las Vegas, because we'll shut you down coming up in here with some half-ass protesting, because either you gonna come in here and stand for something, or you gonna fall for anything. Huh?
Y'all gonna shut me down? Y'all don't want to hear me say
no, not you. No, Rico, not you. I ain't gonna shut
I'm
you
gonna say
down.
y'all don't want to hear me say Vegas. Wake up, Vegas.
I mean, the only thing I'm saying is y'all go on the internet and look at some of the stories y'all could really be fighting for justice for and getting your point across. There's a case going on right now where a young man, a 2-year-old child, is getting ready to die because he needs a kidney transplant. His father is his only match, and they're denying that baby a kidney because his dad is on probation. See, that's the kind of shit that needs justice. Y'all, so we gonna let a 2-year-old die?
I ain't know about, look, that's why I said that I got me a small group, and like I said, my whole objective is this: if anybody need me, if anybody want to hear me, if anybody want to send for me, they can let me know, and I'll be there. I don't care how many people out there protesting for that cause. I don't care if it's 2 people. That's all I need is a small army to build it to a big army. I don't care. I will go anywhere where whoever need me. I will not turn it down. I won't go from focus to focus to focus. I will most definitely go out there and make it be known that Rico want justice for what happened wherever. Detroit got a problem. I want to go out there to Detroit because they said some officer tased the kid on the phone with it. He fatally hit a tree and died. Like, I want to travel the world. I don't
Okay,
want
now let me just say this, and I don't want anybody to take offense to what I'm saying. Okay, but I gotta say this. That's just like with the whole Black Lives Matter thing. We always wanted to jump up talking about Black Lives Matter, but if before they can matter to anybody else, they have to matter to us first. That's the bottom line. Before you can expect our lives to matter to anybody else, we have to step up to the plate and show that our lives really do matter to us. Stop killing each other. Stop. Everybody's in conflict with each other. This whole Kenneka Jenkins thing started off on a real spiritual note. Everybody was on one accord. And then as soon as somebody said something that somebody else didn't agree with or didn't like, everything went to shit. You guys, please excuse Mama J's language, but when I get heated, I just tell it like it is. Everybody went to shit because everybody wanted it their way. It ain't nobody's way. When you talking about a protest, if we not all on the same exact page, fighting for the same exact cause, all this speculation and innuendos, that shit don't mean shit. If you ain't coming at me with facts, I don't want to hear nothing nobody got to say, because it really don't mean nothing at the end of the day. It really don't. The police don't care. The FBI don't care. The government don't care. The next door neighbor don't care. If it ain't fact driven, it don't hold no water. That's all it is. And an opinion is like an asshole. Everybody has one. Again, an opinion is like an asshole. Everybody got one. Okay. Let me take a little break.
As you can see, Mama J said let her take a break because she's starting to like P-Rico.
I got to take a break.
She said she started what?
you got him over here cracking up. Well, it's a good thing that we were able to straighten out some stuff.
Wait, you say your mama's starting to what?
She said let her take a break because she's starting to like P-Rico.
Hey, as long as everybody get my side of the story so they can understand instead of listening to rumors and regulations of what they see on the internet about me. So, like I said, that's the movement I got going on right now, the Justice for All revolution. And if anybody need me where they're located, I would like for them to try to reach out to me. We can negotiate something. Like I said, I work. I'm pretty sure I probably don't make enough money for a damn round trip ticket, but I got supporters who will help me so I could go out there and I will have no problem with going live so a person could know I'm actually about what I say. So if y'all need my voice, if y'all need me anywhere for any cause, call for Rico.
Let me tell you guys something. Me and Jasmine, we have our own nonprofit organization, okay, that we've been working on for over 2 years now, trying to get it up and running. Let me tell you something about doing something right. If Jedediah and them were sincere about what they really were going to do and how they really wanted to help people, again, you guys, please excuse Mama J's language tonight, because really I don't talk like this every day, but there are days I do get out of control. Fuck taking up a GoFundMe page. Get up off your ass and do something yourself. Have a car wash. Raise money like that. Have freedom fighter t-shirts made. Sell t-shirts. Raise money like that. Then everybody knows where the money's coming from. Everybody's worked towards getting the money, the foundation up and running. So when we have somebody like P-Rico or other people that want to come in and fight for the cause, oh, it ain't no problem. All we got to do is go to the fund. We got money. We can give Rico a round trip ticket. We can get such and such a round trip ticket because we done raised our own money. Then we don't have to worry about nobody question us about their money. Because guess what? We done got up off our ass and we done raised our own money. We done sold. I'll sell sweet potato pies and peach cobbers for y'all if I thought y'all was going to do the right thing.
Oh, shit. Oh, good. Shit, Jesus. Ooh, wee. That just made my stomach grow.
But you know, it's at the end of the day, it's truth, P-Rico. Like, you know.
Look, check it out. I know it's true 100%, but she just made my stomach growl because I'm tired of rice and beans. I need some black people food in my life.
I know that's right.
Man, I am not
so
with black for nothing. I am Puerto Rican, black, white, and Cherokee Indian. I require black people food. I love spaghetti, catfish, all that. I'm tired of rice, beans, and steak, rice, beans, meat, rice, beans, this, rice, beans, that. I ate it for my whole damn life. Can I explore? Shit.
So I just want to say, it looks like we're hitting our 2-hour mark, and I don't want any of your interview to be cut off. So I am going to go ahead and end this live, and I will come back on to finish talking to everybody. P-Rico, if you'd like to join us again, you're more than welcome. If not, please stay in contact with me because, again, like I said, we have our own organization, so we can definitely link up and do something. But I will definitely be back with all of my viewers and all of my followers. Thank you so very much for coming to us, P-Rico, and at least being able to explain your situation. I will see you guys real soon. Give me about 10-15 minutes and I'll be back up. And everybody said to tell you, thank you, P-Rico. Bye, P-Rico. They love you, P-Rico.
Yeah, y'all see that white, all white set, man.
And you can't leave this interview saying it was horrible. Thank you.
I most definitely ain't gonna say it was horrible, but we got something accomplished, and that's what needed to be. It needed to be that way.
Absolutely.
And it got accomplished. I don't care what type of backlash I get after this, because like I said, I'm an outspoken individual. Ain't nobody gonna make me bite my words and change it around and be like, no, I ain't say that. No, it's not like that, because I'm the one who confront you. I'm the one who confront everyone who got something against me. I'm the one who would tell a person, reach out. I'm on Chosen One. If anybody know Chosen One too, tell that man, reach out to me and stop, pardon my language, stop running your dick suckers about a person who you don't know about, brother, and do an interview with me so you can understand my side of the story, because I was not part of that fucking case. I was not at that damn hotel. How dumb do you sound to think that I am related to Irene? Thank you. You funny as fuck, Bree Bree. Thank you.
I'm gonna look out to whoever it is you're talking about, and I will definitely reach out to this person and see if we could connect the two.
I was just in that man live chat blowing up. His live was like, is Rico in the chat? Oh, it's Rico. Everyone is Rico. So you know his followers gonna take up for him and say they go fraud. He go to fraud, the fraud dude with the dreads, fraud Rico, all this and all that. And I kept telling him, Chosen One too. You said a lot of theories about me that wasn't true. Let's do this interview, brother. And he act like he ain't seen my comments. Because if he did, I get on my Facebook. Why he ain't hit me up on my Facebook Messenger? This is where you expose most of these people. Just like Mr. John Frank. You had a lot to say about me, but you did an interview with me. Then you started off your interview by saying I'm not black. I just know a lot of, like, it's not no race issue. Then you
saw that.
New York and Chicago. What's wrong with you? If y'all would have had a lot of cameras like New York, maybe that would never happen. Like, really? Really? So
I saw his interview.
Like,
I don't even know why you did the damn interview.
You say what?
I said I don't even know why you did the interview.
I told him I don't like you, but I appreciate you reaching out to me. I don't like him, period. If I ever go to New York, I'm going to let him know I'm in New York. Do you want to meet face to face? And I'm going to let him know in his face, I don't like you and what you stand for. But I still appreciate you for reaching out in that interview. Because I'm a man. Right. I'm a man enough to do that. Most guys are so pussyfied and terrified that they'll want to try to shoot and kill me instead of fighting. And I'm not that person who shoot first. I was born and raised off thieves. And if you got a lot to say about me, let's be a man and talk about this issue. That's what's wrong with this world. Men live off pride and jealousy. And the jealousy part gets a lot of men killed.
Correct.
We be in our pride. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I was in my pride. I feel like my pride is assaulted when these men talk down upon me. I'm not gonna feel like my pride assaulted when a woman talk down upon me, because arguing with if you try to fight a woman, you're a coward. And I'm not finna waste my time with giving a woman my energy like that. I'd rather just give her for a personal note, not arguing with her. See what I'm saying? Women live off feelings and emotions. Expect them to assault your pride and make you jealous.
Well, your first step is to stop letting those outside bother you. You know, if people want to come to you,
laugh at them, because, like I said, just come to me face to face and be a man, man. Show you got some webbles, man. That's all I'm saying. Just be a man. That's it. You see how we doing this interview? They can do it too. God.
Well, we are definitely going to try to make that happen, as I don't want this interview to cut you short. So again, I'm going to go ahead and sign out, and I'll be right back. You're more than welcome to join us. But again, thank you so very much, P-Rico, and thank you guys all for tuning in and listening as well.
You know, I'm going to be in your comment section, so I hope nobody ain't saying nothing smart about Rico, because I most definitely respond.
I just noticed today when I was going through my comments to see who I was going to approve or deny, I just realized that you were one of the people that left a comment on one of my pages.
Was you the one that some dude said that, damn, Joseph Alvarez, you taking up for your boyfriend, Rico?
No, wrong page.
Oh, okay. That must have been chosen one day. The man is so dumb that multiple times I have said my name is Joseph Alvarez in multiple interviews. This man is so dumb that he say, Joseph Alvarez, why you dick sucking? Ain't nobody talking about your boyfriend Rico. What you gonna do about it? Saying all that crazy shit. Then some girl say, yeah, we ain't mean talk about your soulmate. Y'all so dumb.
It's the same person, right?
I am Rico. I'm my own boyfriend.
Exactly. But see, that's where the rumors and the lies come from.
Exactly. So just talk to me and reach out to me and do a fucking interview. That's all you have to do to get my side of the story. But I ain't gonna keep you on here too long. I don't want your man or your husband, anybody to get upset that this all you doing and you ain't paying attention to them. So
oh no, I don't.
Comment section.
Yeah, no, I don't have one of those. I just don't want YouTube to. They only gonna give me 2 hours and they'll cut your show short. So I'm gonna post this so people can get the whole interview, and then I'm gonna come back online.
All y'all commenters, I will be on y'all comments to see what y'all said about me. And if it ain't nothing good I don't like, if it's something good like Rico dumb like a bag of rocks, I ain't gonna respond to all that. But if it's something dumb as shit, I will respond. I'm telling you now. So be prepared to be assaulted back verbally, because I got it on the verbal. But all right.
Good night, P-Rico.